Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're tackling something literally every single one of us deals with: the absolute chaos of daily life. In this explainer, we're going to unpack how an ancient fable about a simple farmer holds, honestly, the ultimate framework for daily emotional regulation. We'll use this incredible story to build a practical toolkit so you can keep your cool no matter what life throws your way. So, I want you to really think about this for a second. How many times have you looked at a daily setback, a delayed flight, a super harsh email, maybe just spilling your coffee, and instantly labeled it a total disaster, like the absolute end of the world? We all suffer from this kind of emotional whiplash, constantly bouncing between stress, anger, and panic over modern stressors that, in the grand scheme of things, we honestly just don't fully understand yet. Just contrast our immediate, hair-pulling panic over those daily frustrations with the clarity of hindsight. I mean, how many times did that exact same disaster actually turn out to be a hidden blessing later on? The fundamental truth we're exploring today is that we are rarely, if ever, wise enough to judge life in the exact moment it arrives. What feels like a brutal, crushing loss today might literally be the exact thing preparing us for something way better tomorrow.
Let's get into our first section and look at the first piece of the puzzle, the farmer's secret formula.
To really get this, let's visit a simple farmer from a quiet village in India, and this brilliantly illustrates the sheer volume of chaotic plot twists he went through in just a really short amount of time. Get this: a merchant offers him a fortune in gold. He refuses. His prized horse runs away, then it returns with 5 wild horses. Then his son breaks his leg, and right after that, a massive war breaks out. For a normal person, this emotional roller coaster would be completely exhausting by day 5. But the farmer? He didn't even break a sweat. Why? Because through every single one of those crazy twists, he anchored himself with a powerful personal philosophy. Through every storm and every sunrise, the farmer would just simply say, "Only time will tell. Everything happens for a reason. Be patient, be thankful, and keep your faith strong." Just let that sink in for a second. This was his grounding mantra. Its meditative power is exactly what kept him completely insulated from all the chaos around him.
From his incredible story, we can extract 3 core principles for finding calm. Here's the first one: stop judging every moment. To master this, we kind of have to contrast 2 mindsets. On one side, you have the villagers. They represent our modern, stressed out brains, right? Highly reactive, celebrating way too quickly, and grieving way too deeply. Compare that to the farmer's centered, mindful ideal. When the rain didn't come, he didn't curse the sky. When the harvest was amazing, he didn't boast. He just waited to see the full picture.
Let's look at the first major twist to see this in action. The farmer had this beautiful prized horse. A wealthy merchant offered him a massive sack of gold coins, literally enough to feed his family for years. The villagers were like, "You'd be a fool to refuse." But the farmer loved the horse, so he said no. Well, just a few days later, his son walks out to an empty stable. The rope was untied, the horse was gone. The villagers instantly swarmed in, mocking him, clicking their tongues, calling it a terrible loss, and calling him an absolute fool. But the farmer? He simply told his heartbroken son not to be so quick to call it a disaster. Now, let's pivot directly to your life. The farmer's runaway horse is exactly like our modern daily setbacks. You lose a job, you fail a huge exam, go through a sudden breakup, or face a scary financial setback. Our inner villager immediately cries, "Disaster! The sky is falling!" But the farmer's mindset demands that we stop judging the exact instant the event arrives, because you see, the full picture hasn't actually been revealed yet.
Which leads us perfectly into the second core principle of maintaining a calm baseline: trust the unseen process. Now, what's really interesting here is the final outcome: 6. A week after the farmer's horse ran away, his son heard hooves early in the morning. Not only did their beloved horse return, but it brought 5 wild, magnificent horses back with it. So now the farmer had 6 horses. Suddenly, the villagers completely reversed their judgment. Now they're calling him the luckiest man alive, richer than the merchant. What was supposed to be a total tragedy was actually a massive gain in disguise. As the farmer told his son, who was obviously celebrating all this new wealth, what looks like a flood today may water the fields of tomorrow. Take a second with that quote. Life twists and it turns. What feels like a cruel punishment might literally just be preparation. A sudden flood feels devastating in the moment, sure, but it might be the exact thing bringing the deep nutrients needed for next season's massive harvest.
This is the true definition of trusting the unseen process.
understanding that just because you cannot see the road ahead does not mean it leads nowhere. Life isn't a single chapter, right? It's a whole book. And no one, no matter how smart they are, can judge an entire book by reading just one single page. So once we stop judging every moment and actually start trusting the process, we have to learn how to actively maintain our balance. This brings us to the final actionable principle: stay steady through extremes. If you want to systematically apply the farmer's approach, you just follow these 3 steps. When life tests you with unexpected gain, stay humble. Don't lose yourself when times are good. Conversely, when life tests you with sudden loss and things are falling apart, stay hopeful. Do not break down when times are hard. This continuous active balancing is what actually generates lasting inner peace. And the farmer's son was about to be tested on this exactly. Eager to train those new wild horses, the young son mounted a huge, strong stallion. But the horse violently bucked him off. There was a sickening crack. His leg was broken in 2 places. The village healer said he'd need weeks to recover and would probably have a lifelong limp. Once again, the villagers panicked. They instantly labeled the new horses a curse of greed. Even the son looked up at his father in terrible pain and asked, "Was this meant to happen too?" Let's move to see how this builds across the entire narrative, because 2 weeks after the leg broke, the unthinkable happened. A brutal war broke out, and the king drafted every able-bodied young man. Of the 23 young men taken from the village, only 9 returned. The village was completely devastated. But when the soldiers saw the farmer's son with his broken leg and splints, they spared him. Every single reactive judgment the villagers made, terrible loss, luckiest man, cursed greed, was completely 100% wrong. That broken leg, which seemed like an absolute curse, ultimately saved the young man's life. The son finally understood endings are often just beginnings. So let's shift into our final section, finding your daily calm. First, I really want you to internalize this quote. Write it down, make it your phone background, honestly, whatever you need to do. Only time will tell. Everything happens for a reason. Be patient, be thankful, and keep your faith strong. True balance comes from realizing that life does not unfold in neat, straight lines. It surprises us. And this mantra, this is your anchor. To short-circuit your daily anxiety, you can rely on the 3 core takeaways we've covered today. 1. Stop judging every moment instantly. Give life the time to reveal its full picture. 2. Trust the unseen process. Know that the complete picture is always, always larger than the tiny piece you can see today. And 3. Stay steady. Don't grieve too early, and definitely don't celebrate too soon. So the crucial point is really a challenge for you. What current disaster in your life might actually just be a hidden blessing? The next time something shakes you, take a deep breath, refuse to play the part of the panicked villager, and wait until the evening to see how splendid the day has truly been. Keep your faith strong, and I'll see you in the next explainer.